I'm back. Sorry, my throat decided to go fuck you. I promised the bonus. Let's do it. Let's do the bestiary puzzles, basically. They seem to be the same format as the, Phoenix puzzle from the game itself, so this should be kind of interesting to do. Just move everything aside. Because apparently we can do this, plus it'll hide the text if you haven't already read it, and... So, yeah, I get to review the game now. I'll be honest, I really liked it. I had a lot of fun playing it. It was well made. It was... I would have liked to see a little more of the music in it. But again, that's just me. But it's not like they skimped out, and it was just a lot of decent fun. And it's obvious they didn't take the game too seriously, like, they didn't get pretentious with it or anything. The moral didn't get shoved down your throat. It was basically just a nice little fairy story. And it was kind of... There were a lot of moments where, you know, you wanted to cry a little bit because it was so sad. And, you know, stuff like that, you know, at first kind of sucks, but you realize, you know, it does help the story in a way. It does tell the story in a sense. There we go. But either way, I had a lot of fun playing this game, and the makers of this game should be really proud of themselves. They did an excellent job. I need to double check if Elephant Games also does the Mystery Case File games. I think they do? I could be completely wrong on that, but it kind of feels like they do. Plus, I got to review some of the monster designs, too. What I thought of them. Which will be, like, more fun than it should be in its own right. I also like how not all the monsters were simply, like, mindless creatures out to kill you. They were actually, like, asking you, can you do this? Okay, you want this, can you do this for me? That sort of thing, which is a lot better than you sometimes see in these games, because usually what they'll do is they'll do something like just make them completely mindless and monstrous, and, you know, they just want to do one thing, and that's, you know, have you for dinner. By the way, you happen to be on the menu. Which is fine for some things, but not a lot. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I do get sick of seeing that. So I'm kind of glad they didn't go that route with a lot of these monsters, and we're doing one of them right now, the dragon. You know, the big badass thing that, like, burnt the banker to death. He, you know, he wasn't just some mindless monster. He liked wealth, and he even said, I'm not patient, so hurry it up. You know, chop chop. And when you gave him wealth, he left. He left you alone, he left the town alone. You know, his job was essentially done. He wasn't needed anymore. And I kind of like how they made the organ grinder likable. You know, they didn't, you know, go the typical route a lot of games would do, which is make the villain as unlikable as possible. Because, you know, he's the villain. You're not supposed to like him. They did that with the Grim Reaper, but keep in mind it was a redemption story for the organ grinder. And here he is, the dragon. While their personalities vary from noble to vicious, they share one common trait. They are obsessed with treasure, and this dragon was obsessed with treasure. They are so fiercely territorial. So never stand between a dragon and what it desires. Their sharp teeth and claws can tear apart even the strongest armor, and their fire breath can burn an entire city to ashes. Dragons sense fear, so always approach with confidence and respect. In other words, don't be shaking like a little pussy. And I love the design of the dragon. It has like a bit of a mammalian, avian, and reptilian feel to it. It's like they mixed the three, and it kind of works for it because it's like the head, and it looks like it's a beard. It looks old and wise, but it looks pissed off and mad. And the necklace is a cute touch to its greed, which I kind of found funny. It just looks like a big badass thing, and you saw in the concept art, it looked a lot smaller in the concept art, and they made it bigger. And I'm kind of glad they did, because it made it more menacing. It made it more like, holy crap, this thing is Godzilla. It's going to destroy the city. This might be, if I were to like guess the measurements of each of the monsters, this might be the second biggest monster. So but then again, we don't know how big the this one's going to be. Move all the pieces to one side. And yeah, I'll read out, like, each of the things. But, you know, I had a lot of fun playing this game, and I'm glad I got to play it. You know, I've only started doing actual YouTube videos recently, but I found I do enjoy doing it. Not because of views or anything like that, but because it's just fun. It's kind of cool to say, oh hey, I found a thing. That's literally, this is the equivalent to me going, I found a thing for me. And I actually will get people who want to see the thing I found. A lot of my friends don't have either the attention span or the desire to do it, or if I do show them something, it's usually something that freaks them out because my sense of weird is a little different from theirs sometimes. And it gets annoying after a while with that. You know, I love my friends and all, but there are times where I kind of sit there and go, well, maybe I don't want to see that. I mean, I was forced to watch a YouTuber known as Tobuscus by a friend because he was a big fan of it. And, you know, I'm not dissing any Tobuscus fans, alright? This is the first time I ever saw him, and this is my own personal judgment. And the reason I was forced to watch him is because our friend, you know, didn't quite put in a boredom. He gets bored too easily, so he has to, like, do things, and I'll be perfectly honest, it was also a combination of, we were doing something that, it didn't require concentration, but, I have this thing, it's not like an ADD thing or anything, it's more of a annoyance where if I'm trying to focus on one thing, I don't want to hear YouTube in the background, blaring. I don't want to hear something I don't enjoy in the background when I'm trying to do something that I do enjoy, especially when there are people I'm talking to. If I'm alone, I can handle it, but not in a group like that. You know, I want to concentrate on the group, the thing I'm in. But, you know, he decided to put this on, and I couldn't stand it. Now, I do watch some PewDiePie, so he has that odd voice, you know, he does the, weird thing, but he doesn't do it all the time. He does speak normally at least half the time. You know, he's not, you know, doing PewDiePie all the time, which really sounds southern to me, even though he's from Sweden. You know, that always struck me as odd, but he doesn't do it all the time, you know. And, you know, you can also partly blame the accent, by the way, because, you know, the accents can sound a little like that. But he doesn't do it, like, all the frickin' time. Tobuscus had this voice that started to grate on me immediately, and it was like an annoying, like what people say PewDiePie's voice can be. Make it higher, American, and on constant loop, and that was Tobuscus, and it drove me nuts. I'm sorry, if you're a fan of his, great, but oh god, I couldn't stand it. I literally just couldn't stand it. And, you know, neither could the other people in the room, and we all just went, could you please turn that off? He's like, what? He turned it off, he's like, well, what's wrong with it? Like, the voice, for one, another friend of mine went, yeah, it sounds like he's faking it or something. And I don't know if he's faking it, that could just be his voice. I've heard people with annoying voices, trust me. You know, I often worry that my voice is a skosh on the annoying side. But I couldn't stand it. I really couldn't. You know, I understand if, you know, people like him, I mean... And then they also went to one that was like a rage gamer, like he purposely plays games for a company that upset him, and I sat there going, why? That was literally my answer to that, was why? Why would I play something that pisses me off all the time for money? I couldn't do it. You know, people ask what selling out means. That's selling out. Why would you do something that makes you miserable for money? I'm sorry, I don't care what the situation is. For me, if it's making me miserable, I'm out of there. I don't give a shit. I'd rather be, you know, slightly more mentally healthy than financially secure. Anyway, on to the Phoenix. Their feathers are bathed in a magical fire. The mayor found this out the hard way, leaving a trail of flames as they fly. Their regenerative abilities are legendary. When mortally injured, the Phoenix burns into ashes, only to arise moments later as a fluffy nestling. Oh! Contrary to popular belief, they are even-tempered, only burning people when threatened. What the fuck did the mayor do? Pull its tail? Again, this is why I'm not sure if the dragon is the second biggest or not, because I'm not quite sure how big the Phoenix is, but I don't think the Phoenix is that big. And, of course, we had the little baby with us the whole time. I love the design of the Phoenix, because, again, it's a fiery bird. Fiery bird. And, you know, they did a good job with it. They didn't make it look like pure fire. It looks like a bird that has fire on it. And that's kind of cool. Let's go to the next one. This one drives me nuts for the concept. I'm sorry. Yes, obviously the Basilisk, but the Basilisk is not supposed to... I'm pretty sure the Basilisk is not supposed to be... I'm gonna look them up. Having a phone is really useful. Basque. Oh. Bisque. Here we go. Basilisk. Oh, okay. It's called the King of Serpents, but it... Yeah, it's like related to the cockatrice, which is part rooster, part lizard. It took me forever to figure out what the hell a cockerel was, by the way. What's the difference between a cockatrice? If anything, you know, that thing should have been, like, just given a beak, and they could have called it cockatrice. Because it's actually more snake-like than the Basilisk. The Basilisk is more of a roosterish head, which is kind of interesting. But it's not a giant fucking snake. This one they got completely wrong. Both have a death gaze. They don't have deadly venom, although, you know, they probably would have the venom too, depending on the lizard egg they got hatched from. So, they could have called this something else. A naga would have been more acceptable, even though it wouldn't really be a naga either. I mean, I'm probably just, you know, being fussy for the sake of being fussy, but, you know, I like my mythology to be right, and they were doing great so far with the bestiary. I mean, for Christ's sake, the dragon was, like, beautifully done. But I guess they couldn't think of what to call the giant snake, and they figured a naga would be a bad idea, too. For pretty much the same reason as the basilisk is a bad idea. But I guess they figured since it's more snakish than anything else, they went with the basilisk idea. I don't know. And keep in mind, if this is my big gripe about the whole frickin' thing, then, you know, they did a pretty damn good job, considering. It's not like it wasn't an appropriate monster for this, you know. The dude sold a poison. So he got poisoned. Got his ass bit by a giant snake of death. I'm sorry, but you fucked up. So now you're going to die by snake. By death snake. I'm sorry, but that is frickin' awesome. Ah, that's where it goes. Okay. And after this, I'm probably gonna get some sleep, because this is like the last video I actually have to upload, like I have to make and have to upload, because this is just the bonus stuff. This is the stuff that this is just the random stuff that you guys want to see, because it's weird. Yeah, I'm really hoping that Tobuscus run doesn't bite me in the ass, because it's really just my opinion, and that's all it is. You know, I'm not saying, oh, you shouldn't subscribe to him, because I'll be perfectly honest, if you're subbed to someone because you like their content and you don't give a shit what other people say, then good for you. You know, I see people, like, make up every excuse in the book on why someone shouldn't be subscribed to someone, even if they're legitimate or not. But if a person likes that person, they're gonna stay sub to them. This is something that, you know, you need to understand before you go into the whole, I'm going to rant about this person because I don't like them routine. It's not gonna work. Because if they like them, they're not gonna care. They're really not. You know, I've told people why I don't like Bill Maher. People still like him. They even tried to get me to agree to disagree with him, and I went, no. If you don't know, if you're new to this channel, my earlier videos had rants on anti-vaccine. This is something I feel very strongly about. I haven't had any reason to rant about it lately, thankfully, which is probably a good thing, because the direction this channel is going in, it's not really a ranting channel anymore, even though if I absolutely have to, I will rant about it again. But I feel very strongly about this. I'm anti-vaccine. Which pretty much means if you are an anti-vaxxer, you're probably going to get, like, the massive end of my wrath. So you might want to be careful about that with me. Like, I don't directly insult you, but your beliefs basically become my bitch. And I don't care if you're offended by that. That really is the truth. I can't tell my friends that they can't like Bill Maher, which is what I was getting at. And he is an anti-vaxxer. He doesn't believe in germ theory. Basically, you know, pretty much everything that pisses me off, he's done. So, and they tried to get me to go, well, he had some good ideas about religion. Like, I don't give a shit. What he's perpetuating is a dangerous philosophy that kills kids. So, please bite me. That's literal, like, I really wanted to say that to them. But, you know, I said, well, I'm sorry, I can't do that morally. That's literally how I felt, is morally I cannot just agree to disagree. Because, I'll be honest, it's stupid. Anyway, Deep in the rainforest is a legendary serpent which paralyzes its victims with a single gaze. A single drop of its poison... A single drop of its venom can poison an entire lake, enough to wipe out an entire city. However, it has a surprising weakness. Upon hearing the melody of a flute, the basilisk falls into a deep slumber. So it's a giant cobra of death. It's not a basilisk. It's a giant cobra. There has to be like a legendary creature like that. The design of the snake was really good, by the way. You know, I do like it, and the fact that it was like a hybrid of a rattlesnake and a cobra, is kind of interesting. So, yeah, this is kind of just me rambling, BSing, but at the same time, you know, I am reviewing the game. This is pretty much the wrap-up, essentially. This is, like, the last of it. I don't see a lot of people play these games, or if I do, they're usually just, like, you know, gameplay footage and not people commenting on them. So, unless they are out there, then I'd like to check them out and see if they're any good, at least. Because I think that's kind of the Let's Play community I'd have to join, if anything, because that's kind of my this is kind of my thing. Of course, you know, the golem thing, it's... Random McSchmuckpants dies of the golem. I'm sorry, that's what I'm gonna call the guy who got killed by the golem. Random McSchmuckpants, because that's pretty much what he was. He might as well have been wearing schmuck on his forehead that day. I'm sorry, it's very late right now. When I'm doing this. So I'm gonna have to sleep, like, soon-ish, I guess? But I do want to finish this, or I'm gonna forget to do the bonus, and, you know, he won't get the bonus, and that'll be a sad thing. Of course, I was also talking today about, the Mystery Case Files game I played, the newest one. Again, I do want to do, like, what's the word for it? Not the complete series, because there are a lot of unrelated games to each other. Like, if they start looping back into each other, then obviously I'll have to do those games to go, okay, here's what the reference actually is, you know, because otherwise that'd be kind of a shitty thing to do. But basically, if you're not familiar, I said this in the intro video, but, not the intro, but an update video I did, but I think this would probably be, like, a better way of describing it. You're basically a detective who goes around solving weird-ass cases. It's one of the older series. How many games do they have now? I have to look up. And not right now. I mean, using the phone, I've used it enough today for my Let's Play research. It's taking forever with the golem. Anyway, Random McSchmuck. I like the fact I gave him that name. Random McSchmuckpants. I think whenever there's an NPC I don't know what the hell to call them, I'll just call them Random McSchmuckpants. If only because it's funny. You know, it's a rule of funny kind of deal. Yeah, we're seeing the eyes now. Ah, there we go. We're actually getting somewhere with this thing. I'm not sure where we're going, but we're getting there. I know somebody's probably gonna be like, why are you calling the poor guy who got killed random McSchmuck pants? Because that's pretty much what he was a random schmuck who got himself into trouble. Oh yeah, I forgot the golem was one-eyed. Why did I think he had two eyes? Oh yeah, because it actually makes sense. Still, it's an interesting design concept, a cyclopean golem. What'd you do if you saw that coming at you at 20 miles an hour? There's the other arm. I still can't get over this game a little bit, though. Like, it's just so well done compared to, like, some of the other games I've played recently. Even attempts to do Let's Plays of them, I just sat there and I was really left cold. Like, really? I just played this? You know, not because they were bad per se, but because the story was just so boring comparatively. This one was a lot of fun, and, you know, I was, like you heard me, I was like, oh my god, this villain is hilarious, or awesome. You know, I was literally having a blast. Golem! Golems are magic stone monsters. No shit, Sherlock. They're brought to life by dark magic. Their incredible strength and fearlessness makes them formidable opponents. Only a powerful strike can shatter them to the core. When it's destroyed, a golem simply falls apart into a pile of lifeless rocks. Well, I wouldn't assume it would do anything else. Actually, golems are normally made of clay, and they have a word on them that you can bring them to life or death if you erase a letter. Yeah, this one is something we need an explanation for. What? Where did... It's like, okay, they have bear, giant snake, golem, vampire, Medusa, monster book. What the fuck? Where did you get this one? Not even where. Why did you get this? Why is this running around in my library as we speak? Trying to eat me, mind you. You know that's what the archivist was thinking at first. Not, oh my god, it's going to eat me. It's like, why is this here and why is it trying to eat me? And then he saw the curse card and realized, oh shit. I just like that line on the curse card. Don't retreat. What do you think I'm going to try to do when I see that thing? Sure as hell ain't gonna let it eat me. I'm sorry, I know you want your revenge and all, but I'm a little attached to my limbs. Just a thought. Yeah, this one's easy because it's just the background, I think. It's like, don't retreat, like... Yeah, I'm running like hell if I see this thing. carefully, I'm not just running like hell. I'm running so far away that the book isn't gonna know I'm there. 'Cause I'm not. Again, this is another well-designed monster. It looks like a monster book that tries to eat you, and it's like 20 times your size. And by the way, I think the golem's the biggest monster. These mysterious books gain self-awareness after years of storing dark magic spells, turning into powerful monsters. Not only are they manipulative by nature, they're also prideful and vicious when threatened. Surprisingly, they are nearly invulnerable to fire and sharp objects. You'd think that'd be a problem with their paper. Only a white magic book can destroy one. Well, can a white magic book come to life and become like a monster book in and of itself, and they have like a little argument and fight, nom 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 on each other? Because that would actually be freaking hilarious. I want to see that now. And I do like the design of the golem too, by the way. I kind of like how it's not your typical, well, no, it's cycloptic and it's big and it's scary, which is what it's meant to be. It's a big, scary monster that is trying to kill you and destroy the town. Maybe it just wanted to party. That one was one of the dumb ones. It would have been interesting to see it be intelligent, but yeah, you can't always get what you want. Now this one, you know, this is for the Twilight fans. This is so for the frickin' Twilight fans. Because vampires are so in right now. I'm okay with vampires. I don't mind them. I think if done well, they can be very interesting monsters, and this one was actually... I mean, the monsters didn't get a lot of character development because they were, like, basically on screen for 2 seconds for the most part. But for what they did, I think they did a very good job developing what the monsters were. The fact that they were part of the curse, they followed the rules of the curse. The monster house, you know, couldn't really just set the little girl free, but it knew she was an innocent. So it went... So it gave you a sporting chance to save her because she was an innocent rather than... saying, no, you can't save her because, you know, she's cursed now. It didn't say, fuck you, you know, that's why. It just went, yeah, we weren't supposed to do this, but I can't really go, no, she's not cursed anymore because, waffle tits. That's against the rules I have to play by, but there's no rule against me telling you, yeah, this girl needs to be saved, here's what you do. There never was, so that might actually help us in the long run, like not letting her die. You know, just a random thought here, help me out. So that was an interesting way of showing what the monsters could and couldn't do in a sense, which I liked, because it didn't just, you know, auto throw out the rules of the curse because they didn't want the little girl to die. They went, okay, you gotta save the little girl, here's what you gotta do. And it was a reasonable explanation, that's the way the magic works. By the way, vampires were supposed to have long claws. Vampires cannot survive sunlight, so they hunt at night, surviving on fresh human blood. They are faster than ordinary humans and cannot be injured by normal weapons. However, you can still destroy them by driving a stake into its heart by covering your weapon with a layer of silver. In some folklore, vampires were weak against silver, but usually it's either a holy object, garlic, holy water, sunlight, which wasn't feasible in this case because, you know, we didn't have that amount of time to wait for the vampire just to get burned to death. Or you head it in the heart, decapitate it, and burn it. Like, literally, what the Phoenix could have killed the vampire, the little Phoenix we had, because vampires are flammable. The book is stronger than the vampire in that case. But they did a good job. And the fact that the vampire wasn't going to go after you because you were technically an innocent, but was still going to go after the rest of the town because technically the rest of the town was cursed and considered not innocent, comparatively. So he went, I'm not going to suck your blood because you're not even part of this town, but, dude, this is a buffet. So, I ain't sticking around. And I guess he wasn't done with his current victim, like he was still draining her. Interesting how the gold digger got the bloodsucker. That one I kind of liked. And it was appropriate. But it was kind of telegraphed with the bats flying at your head. Like, oh, come on. I can guess what this is in 10 seconds. So this one is probably going to be the... Yeah, this one's going to be the Lich. So we're going D&D now, which is kind of cool. The vampire was like a good combination of old folklore and classy Dracula. So, you know, that one I approve of. Like, even the ones that I was arguing with, like, oh, come on, that's not what a basilisk looks like. You know, I will say this. At least the monsters all look well-designed and freaking amazing. I mean, they look scary, they look threatening, they look like they're going to eat you. Which is kind of what you want in your monsters. I mean, if they're not trying to eat you, then what's the fun of it, you know? Well, kidding around aside, Again, I can't really sing the praises of this game enough. My silly little petty arguments aside, they did a great job with this game so far. Like, and part of me's kind of hoping that, they do a series with this. I don't know how they do it, but it would be nice to see a series. Not so much with this particular, mechanic, but like the revenge spirit thing is what I'm thinking. Because remember the organ grinder mentioned that the reason he became that this happened was he chose to become a revenge spirit. So who's to say other people haven't decided the same thing? And what were their fates? What did they do? Why did they do it? Was there a good reason? Was it a bad reason? You know, I would love to see if that plays into any of this. No? So basically, yeah, I kind of want to see, like, what else... you know, this particular series has to offer, or this particular, possible series, I'm going to say, because, you know, they may not ever do a similar game to this ever again, which would be a little disappointing, but understandable. Because, you know, let's face it, there's only so much you can do with certain concepts, and I really hope they didn't write themselves into a corner, because this was a very interesting, very fun game. Maybe it's just me being a wishful thinker. And I just noticed, the Lich is human hands. Like, the head's skeletal, but the rest of it's not. That's actually really fucking freaky. Yeah, those are those are human fucking hands. Holy shit. That's really messed up. Like, it was hard to tell, like, from the game because she saw how far away he was compared to us. But... dude! How much of his body is still human? Liches are powerful sorcerers that have managed to deceive death. They rest it back in an almost indestructible undead form. The only way to destroy a lich is to just shatter its vessel of life, which is an artifact that keeps it immortal. Apparently its face rots off, but the rest of it's fine. You know, you'd think if you were a lich, you would try to keep the face human, too. I mean, the hands are easy, just wear gloves. The head's a little harder to hide, because even with, like, a hood, the minute that thing falls off or someone gets a good glimpse, or even with, a mask would freak people out a little bit, too, because it looks like you're going to rob a bank or something. But, you know, if I was a lich, you know, my head would be human, and my body would be, like, I would keep as much human as possible, and if there was something that would be skeletal, I'd keep something hidden by clothing naturally. This is the one I was going to do, like, before I took the break and decided not to. I wonder... no, they don't auto-attach to each other, which is kind of a shame. But that was kind of interesting to see on that lich. So that's a nice little bonus for you. We figured out that the lich has a human hands and possibly other human features by that theory. So I'm thoroughly impressed. What is it with people... okay. I have no problem with this, but this is just me being, like, really freaking curious. Why do people keep putting rattlesnake tails on snakes? They don't all need them. I can tell you right now, rattlesnakes are unique to the United States. They're a very unique type of snake. Again, I have nothing against them having it. I mean, I guess I kind of understand why they do it. I mean, you know, you see a rattlesnake, you automatically think, oh crap, I'm screwed. But... I thought that was our whole belly button. Never mind. They did a great job on the Medusa, too. Like, she looks like she was pretty at one point, and she still looks very pretty, actually. We're missing a piece. She still looks very pretty, it's just, you know... Medusa is a mythical creature bearing the face of a hideous woman with venomous snakes for hair. Long ago, Medusa's kin angered the gods, and she was punished. Now, anything that meets her gaze turns to stone. She's not really hideous, you know? The snake hair has to be a pain in the ass, but she's not hideous, you know? Maybe she needs a little moisturizer, but she's not hideous. The last one is probably the most disappointing monster in the set. Oh, it's like a bear golem! A stuffed bear brought to life by a strong curse. Like other inanimate creatures, there are many ways to defeat them. One of the easiest to destroy is to destroy the amulet which was used to bring the creature to life. Okay, that actually, that makes it a little more of a monster. This is more like a Frankenstein situation than anything else. Alright, I can accept that now. I'm still not thrilled about it, but that makes it a little easier to stomach at least. As opposed to what I was thinking, which is just a bear. Like, really? You have fucking vampires and Medusae and all kinds of crazy shit running around, and what do you throw in? A bear. A fucking bear. Really? Come on. I get this is Russia and you guys like your bears, but come on. Compared to, say, the Medusae and stuff, bears aren't scary. But at least they're saying it was like a stuffed bear brought to life by, dark magic, which makes it a little more scary. And they at least made the bear sort of, like, supernatural looking with, like, the glowy eyes and shit. There's only so much you can do. So at least they tried with the design, but it's just the idea kind of made me go, really? I still think a werewolf would have been, like, a better fit for the situation because, again, that is an actual supernatural creature, and it would have been a human-wolf hybrid rather than just a bear. I mean, were they trying? Hell yeah, they were trying. It wasn't like they weren't trying. I mean, they came up with shit like a frickin' Titaness that was the representation of justice among other things as one of the monsters you had to deal with, which was kind of interesting in and of itself. And I learned something new today because of that. So, yay! So that alone was kind of worth the price of admission, but the bear thing just kind of made me laugh. And there it is. And the beef steer is complete. If I had to pick my favorite designs, I'd have to say the dragon, the vampire, the Lich, and the Medusa were my favorites. So let's check out all the cursed pets. I mean the lost pets. So there's the Scholarly Owl. These wise creatures love books and people who carry a decent conversation. This little guy is a strong warrior, but he also has a big heart. Just don't mock him. Phoenixes are fiercely loyal, allowing their friends to stroke their fiery feathers. Griffins are playful and mischievous, but also loyal to those who befriend them. Which is it? Prized with their jewel-like scales, young dragons are not only clever, but friendly as well. Unicorns are shy and elusive, but if you're patient, they will warm up to you. Hey! These wolves live together in deep snowdrifts. Their howls are said to cause blizzards. I wonder if one howled recently. It's easy to make friends with a Pegasus. Just offer one carrot. Finding her is a sign of good luck. Unlike her male counterpart, this princess's kiss turns a man into a frog. That's definitely a Disney reference. Known for his impeccable manners and clever wit, the Mouse King is truly noble and a good friend to have. Rosy bats are graceful acrobats. On spring nights, they twirl around lanterns. And that's all of them, I believe, yeah. So these are the pets, and we've seen the curse cards before, because they were in the game. So we played the extra gameplay, we saw like all the stuff, and here's the music. We just turned all the music off, which probably would have been better at the beginning, but I didn't think of that. So... and there's the dragon and the phoenix in the background. Let's check out more games, see what they do. They do Royal Detective.
Once upon a
Midnight Dreary. Oh, they do Mystery Trackers! That's right! And Hallowed Legends. That one's a pain to play. And, ladies and gentlemen, as the organ grinder sings us out on his little tune.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. 'Tis some visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more.
As we walk away from the game, my computer fights with me. Thank you. That's it. The hour-long bonus special. And that's it for the game. I recommend you get it. It doesn't seem to be part of a series, because otherwise it'd have like this first one on there if there was a first one. I hope they do make it a series. They seem to do that a lot with their games, where they will make something you think would be a one-shot series. The Mystery Trackers is another good one. They have like 5 games in it. No, 4 games in it, right? No, they have 5. What's wrong with me? They have 5 games in that series. Void. They have... why am I forgetting the other 3? Well, they have Void, they have the 4 Aces. Fuck, I forgot the other... well, they came out with the one recently. But they're all really interesting in and of themselves, so... and the way they do it is they have live actors, so it's very strange. I don't remember if Elephant does the Mystery Case Files. If they did, that'd be kind of an awesome crossover, dude. But I'm not sure. So I'll talk to you guys later in the meantime. Bye!